Sobek-Neferu, or Neferu Sobek, Egyptian Sobek-Neferu, beauty of Sobek, was the first confirmed queen regnant or female king of ancient Egypt and the last pharaoh of the 12th dynasty and of the Middle Kingdom. She was ruling from 1806 to 1802 BC, and she ascended to the throne following the death of Amenemhat IV, possibly her brother or husband, though their relationship is unproven. Instead, she asserted legitimacy through her father, Amenemhat III. Her reign lasted 3 years, 10 months and 24 days, according to the Turin canon. Sobek-Neferu adopted a full royal titulary, distinguishing herself from any prior female rulers. She was also the first ruler to associate herself with the crocodile god Sobek through her regnal name, whose identity appears in both her nomen and prenomen. Her death brought a close to the 12th dynasty and began the second intermediate period spanning the following 2 centuries. Contemporary evidence for her reign is scant. There are few partial statues, one with her face now lost, and some inscriptions that have been uncovered. It is assumed that the northern Masguna pyramid was intended for her, though this assignment is speculative with no firm evidence to confirm it. The monument was abandoned immediately after its substructure was completed. The pyramid may date to a period well after the end of the 12th dynasty. A papyrus discovered in Herage mentions a place called Sekhem Sobek-Neferu that may refer to the pyramid. Her rule is also attested to of several king lists. Sobek-Neferu is thought to be the daughter of Pharaoh Amenemhat III, but her mother's identity is unknown. The relationship between Amenemhat IV and Sobek-Neferu remains unclear. According to the ancient historian Manetho in Egyptica, they were brother and sister. According to Guy Calendar, they were also probably married, although neither the title of king's wife or king's sister are attested for Sobek-Neferu. Sobek-Neferu's accession may have been motivated by the lack of a male heir for Amenemhat IV. By the time of Sobek-Neferu's accession to the throne, the Middle Kingdom was in decline. It had peaked during the reigns of Senusret III and Amenemhat III. Senusret III formed the basis for the legendary character Sesostris described by Manetho and Herodotus. This period is poorly understood owing to the paucity of references to the rulers of the time. She was succeeded by either Sobek-Hotep I or Vegaf, who inaugurated the 13th dynasty. Stephen Quirk proposed, based on the numerosity of kingships and brevity of their rule, that a rotating succession of kings from Egypt's most powerful families took the throne. They retained Ijtawi as their capital through the 13th dynasty. Their role, however, was relegated to a reduced status, and power rested within the administration. It is generally accepted that Egypt remained unified until late into the dynasty. Attestations, graffiti, seals and statues, only a small collection of sources attest to Sobek-Neferu's rule as pharaoh of Egypt. In Nubia, a graffito in the fortress of Kuma, another inscription discovered in the eastern desert. The British Museum has a fine cylinder seal bearing her name and royal titulary in its collection. A handful of headless statues of Sobek-Neferu have been identified. In one quartzite image, she blends feminine and masculine dress with an inscription reading "Daughter of Re, of his body Sobek-Neferu, may she live like Re forever." 3 basalt statues of the female king were found, and 1 statue with her head is known. The bust was held in the Egyptian Museum of Berlin, but was lost during World War II. Its existence is confirmed by photographic images and plaster casts. It fits on top of the lower part of a seated statuette discovered at Semna. The lower half is held at the Museum of Fine Arts at Boston. Buildings, there is evidence that she had structures built in Heraclepolis Magna and added to the pyramid of Amenemhat III in Havara. She left inscriptions on 4 granite papyriform columns found at the temple. Her monumental works consistently associate her with Amenemhat III rather than Amenemhat IV, supporting the theory that she was the royal daughter of Amenemhat III and perhaps only a stepsister to Amenemhat IV, whose mother was not royal. Contemporary sources from her reign show that Sobek-Neferu adopted only the king's daughter title, which further supports this hypothesis. Historical sources in the Thutmose period, she is mentioned on the Karnak list of early Egyptian kings. In the Ramesside period, she is mentioned in the Saqqara tablets and Turin canon, but is conspicuously excluded from the Abydos king list. Her exclusion, along with all other female kings and pharaohs of the first and second intermediate periods and of the Amarna period, is an indicator of whom Ramses II and Seti I viewed as the legitimate rulers of Egypt. Burial, Sobeknefer's tomb has not yet been positively identified. A place called Sekhem Sobeknefer is mentioned on a papyrus found at Harage, which may be the name of her pyramid. On a funerary stela from Abydos, now in Marseille, there is mention of a storeroom administrator of Sobeknefer named Hebi. The stela dates to the 13th dynasty and attests to an ongoing funerary cult.